Hi everyone, this is Tracy with the Rhapsody Art Barn here today to do a little more WoodUBend on that stool that I started the other day. So I thought that I would show you guys what I'm doing. So I'm going to tilt you over. We can look at the stool. There it is. I used some extra paint I had just left over on another project, so that isn't what I'm going to end up painting it. It's that gray. But you can see the top is painted. It is very stiff right now. So I'm gonna wax it at some point, but right now I wanna concentrate on doing the WoodUBend. So I got my heat gun here, and it's really smart if you have a griddle or something to heat these up ahead of time to lay them on, but I don't have one here at the shop yet. So I'm just gonna use my heat gun that I have. You can use a hairdryer, but it'll take a little longer. Heat it up. I already started doing this a little bit to unroll it. It comes in a tight roll, but as soon as it's not hot, it will stay that way. Whatever you've heated up and formed it to, it'll stay that way. So I kind of unrolled it a little bit and it stayed that way. So it's pretty pliable now, just this part that I heated. So I'm gonna just put it up against the edge of where I want to do it, and then right where I'm going to stick it on, I'm just going to trim it right at that point. And you'll see it just cuts. And you can even, if you're doing a corner, if you're putting together like a picture frame edge, you can miter them. And they do stretch a little bit too, so this one might even be a little bit long, but this edge was not cut, so I'm gonna cut this just a little bit here straight, and then I'll stretch it tight to the edge with the glue. And if I don't do it correctly, I can always patch it, put another little piece in there. So before I heat it up again, now that it's in its general shape, I'm gonna get my glue ready. And I'm just putting it into a cup. Some of my Tight Bond. Any wood glue is what you use. This is what we carry. And let's see if I can get you backed up a little bit so you can at least bring you forward this way. Technical. Here we go. I think I got it. Get you a little bit closer. Okay. Okay, so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So, heat. And we're gonna glue again. Once we glue, we're gonna stick it on and heat it again. This time I'm gonna use, look at how long this brush is, you guys. So, since I won't be using this for much else, I'm gonna use it for my glue. I'm gonna do a nice coat, so I don't drop it. Do a nice coat of paint. Not so much that it gloops over the edge, but enough that it really adheres well to the piece. You can do it on the piece if you need to, or you could do it on just the back. Either way, you want to heat up the piece after you glue it down as well, even if it's a flat piece. So we're going to heat it up again. Get a little glue on the outside. Heat it up. Heat it up. Stick it on. And I'm going to stretch it as I heat it. I want it to be all the way to the edge. All the way to the edge. Stretch it all the way to the top. Once it's nice and heated, I'm going to stretch it again because I can see might need some more glue. Just want to make sure it's really on there. See, when it's heated, it can really stretch. Now, I almost was worried I wasn't going to make it to the edge, but then once I heated it, this stuff becomes a different animal. It just really gets flexible and pliable, and really push it on there and stretch it out. And then once it dries solid, like a piece of wood, really solid. And then you can sand it or drill it or paint it, glaze it. You can just put glaze on it. You don't even need to paint it. It's just like wood. Okay, so that's on there, and look at how much nicer that looks. And I'm gonna go around the whole piece with that. And then I think I'm gonna look for some of these. Make sure I have some more, I think I do, to put on the edges. Not sure. Maybe if I do that. I don't know, I'll see how it looks. And I will have pictures of this on my Facebook page. So if you go to Rhapsody Art Barn on Facebook and like and share, you can see some of the projects I do. I put my pictures of what I'm working on there. Hey guys, Tracy Newcomb here with Rhapsody Art Barn, and I'm back to show you what I just did with the special little stool that I got with the WoodUBend. But the reason I'm coming back is because there were a couple things that I just wanted to point out to you guys as I was working that might be important if you do a piece with WoodUBend. So, turn you a little bit so you can see. I have done all of the edges with the WoodUBend, and it's super cute. And like I said, I'm gonna find something to put here. I'm not sure what yet. Maybe these little medallions here, little appliques, or maybe a square or lion head. I'm not really sure. I could even maybe put some more of this across. No, I guess you can't really see. Anyway, across there, not sure. So as I was working on this piece, I will say there is a top and a bottom, and I did half of it upside down. So this is a little bit raised in the pattern, and this is a little closer to flat. And so half of this was turned the other way, and I noticed it after I'd already attached it. So what I did was heated it up, and I put I peeled it off. Thank goodness I could do that, because it was still warm when I found out, and I peeled it off and I put more glue on, and I heated it back up and stuck it back on. So fixed, yay, if you catch it in time. Again, this paint is not what I'm gonna be using. It's just a base coat of something that I already had. So I'm not too worried about it, but you can see here where when I had to go over it and over it again with the heat gun, the paint actually bubbled and came off. So that's lesson number 2. If you heat your piece and it's already painted, be very careful. Don't get the heat gun too close. You can do it farther back, or you can also heat them, like I said, on a griddle before you put it on, so you don't have to use the heat gun for very long. Also, if you put paint on your WoodUBend, which you can with the Dixie Belle Paint because it is flexible, you can paint it first. Be really careful heating it up because you could bubble this. And if you leave this stuff on a griddle for any length of time, just be sure it's not too hot, because this stuff, like wood, will char. So all of those things I'm learning as I go, and I just wanted to teach you as well. So tips and tricks. Thanks.